Zoro, Nami, Luffy, Chopper, Sanji, Usopp, Brook, Jinbei, Frankie, CP0, Bonnie, the Seraphim Quartet, and Sentomaru. Who will they possibly fight? Let's hash it out, brother. Starting from bottom to top, let's start with Sentomaru. Sentomaru plays a very important role in this siege. Sentomaru is the very first obstacle in the way of the Marines, so whoever he fights first will be very important to the outcome of the siege. Now, this can go one of two ways. Either Oda is gonna do the classic and set things up to where Luffy looks like he's just gonna lose. How is he gonna lose? Because our first obstacle, the first obstacle in the way for the Marines of getting inside of Egghead, Sentomaru, gets absolutely slapped by Kizaru, and now we're down one of our most pivotal players. The barricade for the door being Sentomaru and his pacifistas is what's supposed to be the main block that stops the majority of the 30,000 Marines from getting in. That's supposed to be the job of the Mark III pacifistas, to basically be a fodder eraser. But either way, the Marines are gonna get in no matter if we want to or not. On the other end, I see Sentomaru helping us dwindle down the number of those vice admirals, soloing one of them by himself one-on-one, giving us 8 to work with instead of 9 whole vice admirals. The Seraphim Quartet are a weird bunch because it's fully up to Dad either if they're on our side or not, because in chapter 1089, York said that the Seraphim are in her control, but that could have been a lie just to butter up the Gorosei on the phone. And that means that we have the Seraphim too. So let's just go with that. It's easy to say or not if a Seraphim can box a vice admiral. Now, if that's true or not is a whole different situation. If you ask me, hell yeah, they can box a little vice. I mean, they got feats to prove they can box. First of all, S-Hawk clashed with Zoro, and Zoro acknowledged his strength. That same Seraphim was able to force the Devil Fruit duplication glitch Blackbeard into his little shell of defense from one punch from the same guy, S-Hawk. Now, if we can assume all the other Seraphim are just as strong as S-Hawk, then yeah, every single last one of those 4 could box a vice admiral. Now, I may be just drawing a conclusion based off where someone was just standing during chapter 1089, but Bonnie, I think after seeing the memories of what happened to her father, will click up with the satellites and will be the supporting role for this arc, making sure no one touches Vegapunk along with Shaka, who's maybe alive? I think Bonnie, after seeing the memories, may have had a conversation with Vegapunk and now understands what's going on and maybe needs to protect Vegapunk in order to get to her father and maybe unrobotify him or get him back. I think that's what's gonna happen, and that's the reason why she's probably going to defend Vegapunk during this war. CP0 is in a bad situation no matter what they do. It's a lose-lose. If they betray Luffy, then they have targets on their backs from both the pirates and the Marines. And if they betray the Marines, then they can kiss their whole careers goodbye. The only thing that I can think of that might help both sides and help them keep their jobs is if they just dip out, like literally just leave. Don't participate in the rest of this arc, just leave. Anything other than that, it's GG's. They can't fight anybody unless they help Luffy, and in the end, then they betray Luffy and try to capture Vegapunk and give him to the Marines. Then that way they can play both sides and still keep their career, because they tried, but they're not gonna succeed. My guy Frankie is absolutely capable of fighting a vice admiral. No, he's strong enough to maybe blitz a vice admiral. After his performance in Wano, everyone understands that Frankie is no pushover by a long shot. So yeah, Frankie versus one of these vice admirals is a perfect matchup. Now, which one though? I think it would be funny if Frankie fights this guy. You know, because during Wano, I kind of wanted Frankie to fight Queen, because almost any inventor, I want Frankie to fight them so that he can learn things and get stronger, not only physically, but also with his invention skills. And I hopefully hope that this butt chin guy is a complete Queen ripoff, knockoff, complete copy of Queen. Hopefully this guy's an inventor. If not, this is still gonna be a funny fight. Absolutely the same goes for Jinbei, who I believe is stronger than Frankie, so a vice admiral shouldn't be nothing. But Oda's gotta make these fights look good. Brook, I am so sick of you being a backup character, being the supporting role. I'm sick of Brook being a sleeper character. Brook is literally one of the stronger members of the Straw Hats, or at least I'd like him to be. It is time for Brook to get some new feats.
Can y'all tell that Brook's one of my favorite Straw Hats?
Brook solos a vice admiral. Damn it, he fought Big Mom. It doesn't matter if he won or not. He handled business, and I think he fights this guy because, ew. Usopp, I am so, nah, he can't solo a vice admiral. That's just not happening. but I would love to be proven wrong. But what I know for sure is that there is a group of individuals that would have absolutely no problem fighting a vice admirals, dare be it they are one of the bravest 3 individuals in all of the Straw Hats. I'm talking about the Brave Trio. They're not the Coward Trio anymore. The Coward Trio is no more. The Brave Trio, Nami, Usopp, and Chopper. I think them 3 tap a vice admiral, no problem. The 3 of them are gonna jump a vice admiral and they're gonna have fun while they're doing it. Which one? I think they're gonna fight this creepy old lady because I can already see the memes incoming. Sanji takes on either the strongest or second strongest vice admiral, which I think is either Doberman or this guy. I mean, just look at him. But I feel like there is a perfect matchup for Sanji, which still might be one of the strongest vice admirals, and this scary looking guy might not be the strongest guy. Oda, every time someone looks like Sanji, he matches that person up against Sanji. He always fights them and rearranges their face so that he doesn't look like him. So I look forward to the part 2 of the Sanji clone matchup. Now, I could have just said all this and this guy's hair is not blonde, but please, Oda, make him a blonde. Let's talk about both Zoro and Luffy at the same time. The captain and his right-hand man. Whoever Zoro fights will affect whoever Luffy fights, and in vice versa. Because this is just how the arcs go. Luffy fights the strongest person with his and Zoro and Sanji get the second and third strongest. But this arc might be a little different because at first glance it's easy to say that the strongest enemy here is Kizaru, but I don't think that may be true. As protectors of the secret of the empty throne, I don't think that the Gorosei are literally allowed to be weak or weaker than some mere admiral. So I think Luffy actually fights Saturn. By fighting Saturn, we get to see the truth behind what was teased to us back at Mary Joie when Sabo saw the Gorosei turn into these weird, possibly ultra mythical fruits. So with that, I put Luffy up against Saturn, which means that Zoro has 2 opponents that have been left untouched, which is Doberman and Kizaru. But I think that Zoro fights Kizaru because Doberman is gonna be Luffy's problem because One Piece isn't fair and niggas just get jumped. So Doberman, who seems to be tasked as Jay Garcia's security guard, will aid Saturn in his fight against Luffy, officially making the fight between the 2 an easy Mickey win for Saturn. I left Robin for last because she also has 2 possible opponents. Now the easy choice is just to put Robin against Doll and call it a day, but Egghead has some other intruders here too, and the Blackbeard Pirates. And it's not just any Blackbeard Pirates, it's Katarina, Devon, and Lafitte. They're here to make things even more complicated and annoying. And since Robin is most likely off screen studying that robot from futures past, giving Katarina the perfect opportunity to make us wonder every time we see Robin if that's truly Robin or not. There's a perfect opportunity for the Spider-Man meme to be recreated in One Piece in this moment. Just imagine Robin returning to the crew after studying and she sees another version of herself and they start pointing at each other to see who's the real one, and then they have to explain why they're the real one. But if Katarina can copy devil fruits, which would be cheating by the way, then that mystery is very hard to solve. But I don't think she can copy devil fruits. So Robin could just show the devil fruit and boom, that's an easy way to say, okay, yeah, it's me. But I say that either Doll or Katarina is her opponent, which leaves Lafitte. And honestly, I have no clue what he's gonna do, so let's just leave him a mystery. All right, that's everyone in their possible matchup. And you know what's crazy? I could have made this video just for Egghead to get Ultra Buster called and everyone has to leave and there's no fights, and I just made this video for no reason. Wouldn't that be crazy?